A seasoned lawyer and democracy activist, our guest today is the former president of the Nigerian Bar Association. He is passionate about justice and equity for all, having won several awards for his feat in the defense of democracy. You meet our guest after this break. This is the Sunday Interview. I'm Jokeli Jade. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our guest today is a democracy activist. He's a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association and senior advocate of Nigeria, Barrister Olisa Agbakoba. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So I wasn't sure whether to use the barrister or to use the chief.
I'm not a chief. I'm not a chief.
All right, so let me ask you, you grew up in Jos. Tell me, what was growing up like then?
Idyllic. Fantastic. Horse riding. Sweet. Beautiful. When Nigeria was Nigeria. Not today when things are all gone.
And at the time, there was nothing like an Igbo boy staying in the north.
No. It was a unified country. Beautiful country. Yes.
So you formed your opinions, I'm sure, from growing up there, and your dad was also in the law practice.
Yes.
Would you say that, he informed your choice of a career in any way? How fathers are like, you have to study law.
Not really. He never told me, go study law. Actually, my first interest was to be a soldier.
That would have been nice.
Because I was a Biafran soldier. So at the end of the war, when I had finished secondary school, I loved the military thing. I loved the uniform, the discipline. But he carefully diverted my attention. And I ended up in law, which I don't regret.
So growing up, would you say that you had nicknames that people used to call you? Do you
Yeah,
remember
all kinds
any?
of names. Some called me Oli too, for reasons that are unclear.
Okay.
Abana, because I was a great footballer in Rangers Football Club back in Enugu in the days. Who, again, for reasons that are unclear.
Not like you played football.
No, I played football.
Oh, okay.
At a very senior level.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I played football through all the levels. Potential level, I played for Nigeria. So I got that nickname Abana. I got another nickname Reciprocal, because we went to a debating society. And we had to cram to impress the girls. So I said, respect must be reciprocal. So that name stuck. Another name I had was Scaramanga. They said I looked like Christopher Lee in those horror movies, because when I had hair, it was sort of like triangular. So those are some names I've had.
All right, so growing up, who would you say, influenced you, as a child? Some of the earliest influences you had?
Quite a lot of people. My old man was very tough, very, very strict. Played a role in putting me on the straight and narrow. My mom, for her great class and charm, because I come from, on my mother's side, there's a very big family, very, very big family. So I saw early success, and I aspired to be like the Ibunas. That's my mom's people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a child, would you say you had traits of, maybe wanting to defend other people?
No.
There was nothing like that.
Absolutely.
So where did all this come from?
I don't know. People ask me that, where did the CLO thing come from? From the human. The closest I can think would be my war experiences.
Okay.
Because I said I was a soldier.
In the Biafran War.
And my old man got tired of running. So one day, at a town called Ozuakoli, near Umuahia, he said, I'm not going anywhere. So the Nigerians captured him. And that was a big capture. So it was all over the news. And that put me in trouble.
Okay.
Because I was now detained at the state security detention as a Biafran spy. And being a non-commissioned officer, I didn't get to stay in the superior camps where they had people like Professor Chikobi, Danny Bekwe, Commissioner of Police from Nigeria called Fiberisima, Nigerian POWs and all that. So I had first-hand experience of staying in a prison. So if that is the connection between what I later did in the Human Rights Organization, I wouldn't know.
And how much impact would you say, that war had on you? How much effect would you say that singular war had on your person?
Nothing. Very lucky. My wife, always asks me. I didn't feel any bruise. I didn't feel any scar. But it just made me a tough person because I went through a tough time during the war. Could go weeks without food. Would eat lizards, rodents. We would eat the red cassava. It was very, very tough, particularly at a war front near Arondu Zogu, where Nigerian troops would be fed by tankers. So we're on the other side. It was a valley. So we're on this side watching them on Saturdays. So they would bring in the tankers, and when they opened the tank lid, the goosey soup will be salivating, So
hungry on the other side.
Hungry on the other side. Hungry on the other side. Yeah.
So away from everything that you do, how do you get away? How do you relax?
I'm introverted.
Okay.
I don't go out that much, so I read. When I say heavy books, leadership books, autobiographies, historical books, archaeology, religion, the Bible. I was once a fan of the soft novels, but that won't engage me. No, that won't engage me anymore. So that's my passion: travel. Me and my wife would love, to get away traveling. That's it. But partying, nightclubs now.
So, if you had not ended up as a lawyer or as a soldier, what other choice of career do you think you'd have pursued?
A journalist.
Why is that?
I don't know. I've always I'm very inquisitive. And I've always felt that even when I look today at the Nigerian space, I still would like to have, good evening viewers, this is Olisa Agbakoba.
Wow, that would be nice. Yeah. All right, tell me about your journey, into being a lawyer. How did that go? How did you, make that choice, even though you come from a background that is obviously legal? How did that journey go?
So as I said to you, I wanted to be a soldier because even today, that is still my
silent dream.
Yeah, because I love the discipline that the soldiers have, and that's why they call us bloody civilians.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have that discipline that I don't find in civil life. But when I couldn't do the soldier thing, I was now at the government college, really, in the then Midwest. And I had to write a couple of university exams. So I wrote University of Nigeria. I just said, what the heck, law? Maybe because my father was a lawyer, I have no idea, but I just put law. So I came in. To be quite honest with you, my students' days as a student lawyer was a law student. I think the first year was completely uninspiring. Then the second year, the skills began to come. I began to climb in class. Third year, I was
already the bomb.
I was just behind Professor Okabwe, who was once the leader legal advisor of UBA. Yeah, I was the go-to guy. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And in school, did you ever get involved in student unionism at any point?
Big time now. Big time. Well, the students' union activists, big time. Big time.
So tell me about being a lawyer. What are the things you like about being a lawyer?
What I like about being a lawyer is that it has logical processes. There's a certain, logic you have to bring in providing solutions to your clients. So I like to see law as I see medicine. Actually, I use medical terms to describe to my clients what I will achieve for them. So it's an exact science. You've got to have a clear strategy, and I love to play out the strategies and the scenarios. Those are the things that make you go to the top. So I've done that in the last 40 years, and I think I've done it fairly successfully.
What do you hate about being a lawyer?
The drag, the monotony, the everyday thing. Like now at 40 years, there's nothing new, to be honest with you. I'm looking for what new rocket to fire.
So as a lawyer, have you had any case that you just wanted to get through with it, as in like, I just can't wait for this case to just end? Have you ever had? So
many now. So many.
Can you remember any?
I can't really recall, and even if I could, I can't discuss confidentiality of cases. But yeah, every lawyer would tell you that 90% of the cases are just drag. Just want to get rid of this thing. But because you are providing a solution for your client, you have to be involved. And sometimes the client doesn't see the weakness of his or her case. That's another problem. So client care and management is another field. It takes conceptual thinking to tell your client, you know what, it's not a bad case. It's very difficult to manage. Very difficult.
So let me ask you, did you plan to marry a lawyer wife?
No.
You just happened by accident, sir.
By accident.
All right, so would you say that law attracted you to her in any way?
She actually chased me.
Oh, that's good to know.
But what happened is a very funny story. Ngozi Nwokolo, who was a very good friend of mine, dear friend of mine. I had my best friend who was interested in her, but she had a boyfriend. I broke the relationship and connected them. She said, all right, having done that, you must also take my friend.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. That was it.
All right, let me ask you about your thoughts on the Nigerian justice system as it is now.
The Nigerian justice system doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
Why would you say that?
Because if you came to me with the problem, it would take me 10 years to offer you a solution. I don't think if you went to a doctor with malaria and it took him 10 years to cure you, that you will be happy. So the Nigerian justice system suffers from one big poison. It is exceedingly slow. And I've said everything I can say as a private lawyer, as president of the Nigerian Bar Association, as member of the Nigerian Judicial Council, that we lawyers must take full responsibility for the mess that we have in the justice system. It's the public confidence in us is very low. I'm ashamed to say, very low. And the problem is that we haven't rejigged the way we work. You may be shocked to hear this, but it's like on the iPhone. I think they are now on i8. So they are models. We are operating the judicial model that was in existence under the 1873 Judicature Act of the UK. 200 years old.
How's that?
Where everything is by hand, written by hand. The judge writes by hand, takes notes by hand. You can't make much progress.
All right, let me ask you 3 adjectives you use to describe yourself in a concise manner.
Extremely brilliant.
That's 2. That's 1. Okay.
Erratic. Caring.
Wow. Well, we're going to a short break now. When we come back, we'll still be speaking with Barrister Olisa Agbakoba, SAN. Stay with us. Welcome back. We spent the last couple of minutes getting into the world of a democracy activist, former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, and senior advocate of Nigeria, Barrister Olisa Agbakoba, SAN. Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
All right, so being an activist, you are popular for making daring demands on governments and on government's policy particularly. What would you say, inspires the side of you and what you do, that courage of doing that?
Just that everyone should be equal. That's all. Fairness. I see it as unfair if government doesn't understand its role, its proper role. I'm from the southeast, and I think that at the end of the war, General Gowon did a very good thing to say inclusion. The world is very simple, though. It's very simple. And so when I was president of the NBA, my policy was everybody must be inside the room. If you do that, things will change. The world will be easy. If you follow, and the Bible is the standard text for how to treat people. Unfortunately, civil governments don't. I just hate injustice. So if I see it, I can't, bear but to say this is not right. That's the philosophy.
But would you say that you believe that we can have a Nigeria where everybody has some form of equity and justice? Is it possible?
It's the simplest thing to do. But it is the simplest thing. I'm not talking about, you don't have disparity in incomes and all. Yeah, but there is a basic standard minimum that I think every Nigerian can participate in. It happens elsewhere in the UK, healthcare, education, all that, But if you say, okay, I want my kids to go to private school, that's a choice. But anyone who wants public health care has it available. So why can't it be done here? Why do we have people who become billionaires by stealing our money and they flaunt it in our faces, and government does nothing about it? Or take this government's, unclear strategy on anti-corruption, So you can see it's not working out, and therefore the system continues to be unequal. People like us will speak against it. That's it.
Former President Obasanjo wrote you a letter saying
Yes.
It's not enough to condemn these things or want to change these things. You should go from wanting to, being a part of the system. Are you thinking about, join,
I'm an interrogate.
I know that you have the National Intervention Movement.
So why?
Is that a political party? Is that the plan?
No, wait. Let's take it easy. Let's start by saying that Nigeria is almost a failed country. And some people are concerned, like me. So when I looked at the, political space, I said, you know what? I'd like to be in politics. But there's no way to climb this high wall because the high wall is backed by people who have stolen trillions. You can't bring it down. But there's General Obasanjo. There is IBB. I don't care what they've done in the past.
The antecedents.
I don't care. If they can help me break this high wall so that people like us can cross, it'll be important. So I wrote him a letter. And his reply was, why are you not crossing the high wall? And I met with him and said, I can't cross the high wall because it's just too high. But if you help break it down, then that would be a good idea. And he said, well, then don't sit on the fence. I said, all right, I will show you I'm not on the fence. And that led to NIM. We now have 2 million members. Without doing much. Just the fact that Nigerians are exceedingly angry. This NIM showed me that I even underestimated the anger. If you light up a match and you throw it into national anger, Nigeria will explode. Problem, no one is organizing the anger. So the NIM has emerged to organize it. As you know, the next step was Obasanjo wrote his letter. So there's been a process. It didn't just, letter didn't come from nowhere. A process. And in the letter, he refers to the essential ingredients of NIM. So what's left now is how can we organize ourselves? NIM, red card movement of obviously Kwesili, how we don't do blah, blah, blah. The coalition. If we can get it together, if we can put it together, we can stop APC and PDP.
But do you not think that, the same people who want to be part of this NIM.
Saul became Paul. Leave that one.
Are the same people who built this wall.
Saul became Paul. They will convert. Once they don't contaminate us, because realistically, pragmatically, you can't mount the type of national political campaign without money. But you can do it with good money. It can be done with good money. And that's what we intend to do. So, but what I also tell people who tell me, will this thing work? It is better that we say something than we grumble in our bedrooms. There's only one thing that will happen. It won't work. What do I lose? Nothing. And I feel happy expressing myself, opening up and decompressing the anger.
So what's your game plan for them not to contaminate you and the rest?
You. Nigerians. Yeah, because we are saying to Nigerians, are you happy? No. Do you want to change it? Yes. Okay, here's the platform. So, what we need to do is to see that if Nigerians don't support us, we will not win. It's not possible. So at the end of the day, it's a contest for the Nigerian mind. If the old actors defeat us on that, then democracy has won. But I'll be very disappointed if that happens. If we don't, because I'm tired of people saying, okay, it will not work. I say, okay, fine. But history will record that we tried. That's my point.
Also, we're going to say NIM being a political party. Is that what we are saying?
No. NIM is like a capsule. The NIM came out, government, Obasanjo wrote his letter, they now began to do things, blah, blah, blah. So we are seeing movement. If NIM's other achievement is to make government work, that's also an achievement. Because the opposition PDP is in tatters. So if NIM is now waking the government up, oh, great, great. But what will happen in 2019, I'm not a prophet.
But will you run for elective office?
If the opportunity is there, yes. Why not? I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines for 40 years and talk. Let's go do it. Because, for instance, if it was Attorney General, I'll turn Nigeria around. I'll turn it around in 6 months. The skills are there. It's all sitting on my shelf. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I'll turn it around. It will take me time. Once I have a president who says, go do it, we'll do it. Easy. So we are pregnant with skills. Those of us who are not in government. They will come into government, I can assure you. My friend Chikobi, put him into government as central bank governor. You will see big change. We'll drop Nigeria's interest lending rates to single digits. Yeah.
Well, many would argue, is this not just talk? Talk can be cheap.
Please, it's not talk. The reason, have you asked yourself, let's take money. Let's discuss money. Why is it that you and I can't get loans? I've taken loans in the hundreds of thousands in the UK. I've not got a dime at my level in Nigeria. At my level. Why? Those are the answers. Financial inclusion. People can't borrow because you can't borrow at 35% to do any business. But I can bring the interest rates down to 8%. Some bank MDs make as much as 30 billion naira a year. And call it the cost of money. Cost of money. So they now drive up the interest rates. If you sit with the bank MD and ask, why are you lending at
this kind of
rate? They will tell you cost of money. But Obama and FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, had the answers to that by imposing legislation. So this is not rocket science.
These things are workable.
Oh yeah, I can tell you that, workable.
Now, one of the ingredients of the letter you wrote to President Obasanjo is about getting a young person to run the country.
Yes.
And of course, in his reply, he said that they had tried young people and it didn't seem to produce that kind of miracle that maybe a lot of people think would happen. What are your thoughts on getting a young person to run the affairs of this country?
It's not just a young person. you need new ideas, just like I've been describing. A young man, you put in an old bottle of wine, will become will become old wine. So a young person is a figure of speech. You simply have to have fresh ideas, fresh guys. Some might be in their 60s, some might even be in their 70s. But it'll be clear to everybody that there's a new business model. That's what I mean by young. So when I say young, I don't just mean the man in his 40s.
Young in age.
There's a new business model that is driving the system.
Fresh mind.
Fresh person. A guy in a suit. Honestly.
Not in an agbada.
Not agbada. A guy, because that agbada is so clumsy. Before you pull it, you can't walk.
So a corporate guy.
A clean guy.
Executive.
Executive, clean-cut guy. That's what we need. Like Yemi. Like Yemi. Look when Yemi acted. You can see the difference. You can see the difference. So every Nigerian knows what I'm saying is true. We don't want a geriatric who's got no energy. Halfway he's tired. Can't do anything. He's old. He can't use a smartphone. Can't communicate. He doesn't read.
Can't use a laptop.
Nothing. He's just dead. But he's in charge. And once the head is unable to lead, the whole leadership will be useless. So that's what we need.
Lastly, let me ask you one thing that you know about yourself that a lot of people do not know, but you like to share with them.
That I'm quiet.
I'm sure you don't find that hard to believe.
I'm very quiet, very reserved. Very, very reserved. I don't go anywhere. So I used to smoke, but I'm not as young as I was, so I gave it up. So I have only one vice. I love my cognac. Actually, last year I said the cognac I don't want again, so I switched to gin. Gin is purer. That one I have to do that one. Yeah.
That's the only vice.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, we've been speaking with the founder, Civil Liberties Organization, senior advocate of Nigeria, seasoned lawyer, Barrister Olisa Agbakoba. Of course, he's been letting us into the world of politics, law, and everything that makes him think. Thank you very much for coming on the
Pleasure.
program.
Pardon me. Pleasure.
And thank you, viewers, for watching the show. Remember, you can keep up with us by sending your mails to the Sunday interview at tvcnews.tv. We will be waiting to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jokeli Jaja. Bye for now.